said, you can't be putting this stuff on that thick, especially in that gut. I said, the stuff's gonna run right down in the basin, right over in the creek. I said, I've dealt with that stuff before, it's not good. And they did nothing. They just kept doing what they were doing. And we had a rain, and went down to feed them, checked my fish, and there they were. They were just belly up. It's like, okay. So I was led to blame it on that dust control stuff.
You'd be coming up the road and they'd be loading these trucks so heavy that there'd be concrete spilling out of the back of them coming up the hill.
How about the dust?
Oh, well, the dust was bad at first, and then they put that chemical on the road there, and whatever it was that slapped up and got all over people's vehicles, because they didn't put it down at night, they'd put it down in the middle of the day.
The blacktop road was held up for 3 years prior. It was going to pieces, but it was still something a lot more passable than what it is now. And then this spring, before the project started, they set a man on the tailgate with a camera, and they filmed the whole road. The windmill company people did, and I stopped them out here. I says, why are you filming the road? Well, we want to prove that this road was already destroyed before we got on it. I says, well, if you're going to use this road that they've held up repairing because you guys might come, I said, now you're saying that you want film proof. I said, why would you need that if you intend to put a decent road back when you're done? And he wouldn't look at me.
When you get right down to it, this company that come in, they're gonna, they bid out a main contractor. Well, there's nobody in the area that can actually handle this type of project, so they ended up, I think their main contractor came out of Wisconsin. So all them people come here, and then the main contractors subcontracted all the other stuff out. You know, and if there ain't anybody locally that can handle that big a project, they gotta go, and they keep going out of the area until they find somebody. Yeah, the local contractors probably picked up a few people they hired on. It's gonna be short term, maybe, you know, until the project's done. Dump trucks. I heard a lot of them guys complain. You know, they kind of wiggled them right out of everything they could, so they're putting 20 ton of stone on, and I mean, you see the roads over there, they just completely just deteriorated. They claim that they're going to fix them, but you know, that's yet to be seen.
Oh yeah, they said they were going to have 300, 400 construction workers here, and they were going to hire locally, and they were going to, you know, they projected, and they sure give you the rosy picture. You know, they told you everything to make you feel warm and fuzzy, so that that they could get the project in here, get it started, get it going. Once they did that, then of course they brought their own people in and did what they wanted to do.
To keep up with that, you've got to realize the pedestals are made in Vietnam, the last country that whipped our butts in a war. The towers on top are made in Denmark.
Yep, Denmark.
So
Sweden.
where were they built? That didn't come from our economy. It's just taking money out of America and building somebody else's country. Vietnam and Denmark. I mean, it was a waste.
I'm projecting that there may be an adverse economic effect on property marketability for those which don't have windmills on their properties.
People that were going to come up here, I think, to build, you know, maybe have a camper up here, they're not going to want them anywhere near the windmills. They'd be back in the woods, probably. Anywhere away from the windmills is what I'd say.
I don't understand why they call them wind farms. There's nothing farming about this producing electricity. They're a big, giant wind turbine.
I was blown away when I came up here and I saw the fact that, you know, I mean, these windmills have taken away from the landscape of this area and limited, you know, the real estate value.
When people from out of town move up here, I think it's better for the local people. Even as people buy firewood from the people who sell firewood. They buy stuff down in town at the local stores, you know, the gas stations. They buy gas for their snowmobiles, their trucks. Walmart will benefit, you know, from everything. People come in from out of town, they need something, they go in there, they might buy 10 things instead of 2 things, you know. But if they're not in the area, then they're not going to spend the money.
Who informed the town boards?
The wind farm people, because they wanted to push this through. How much of them wind farms come from a private sector. It's all federally funded and local.